Hi everybody, it's Gary Mark again with the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, or Light on the Yoga Sutras Patanjali by BKS Iyengar. And if you guys will remember, we were on the second sentence of the foreword by Jeffrey Devereux, author of Dynamic Yoga. In the first sentence he said Patanjali's Yoga Sutras are the Bible of Yoga. The second sentence he says, however, their inaccessibility in the hands of scholars and academics has left yoga practitioners adrift with neither chart nor compass. So what I want to do is I want to show you guys a chart because um, I think that this will really kind of shed some light here on what the 8 limbs of yoga are, and we're going to go into these, of course, in tremendous detail. But this cool chart, um, and I posted a link, by the way, I posted a link to the group page, so if you want to look at it some more later, you can, but here it is, and you can see to the left, there's something called the yamas, and then that's the first limb. And these are kind of listed in order of precedence. So even before you can start doing the poses, or for the poses to be effective according to Patanjali, you need to be following the yamas. And the yamas are the restraints. Okay, these are things that you don't do. Um, the first yama, some of you may have heard of it before, is called ahimsa, which is non-harming. It's also interpreted to mean not causing pain to others. So, boy, this opens up a whole can of worms, because what is causing pain to others, right? I mean, if you really think about causing pain to others, you'll and you have some good self-reflective capabilities, you'll see that many of the actions that we do every day, including me, I am no saint, by the way. That's the disclaimer here. I'm doing this as much for you, as much for me as I am for you. In other words, I'm getting a lot out of just talking about these things. Um, so like today I was rushing home and I cut some people off. Well, guess what? I caused them pain, didn't I? I got them pissed off. So I was not following ahimsa at that moment. Sometimes, my in-your-face kind of nature causes people pain, and so I need to be mindful of that. So these restraints, or yamas, I think one of the side benefits, or perhaps the main intent, is to really make us mindful of how our actions impact other people. Um, the next one is called satya, which is non-lying. That means, tell the truth. If you can't tell the truth, then it's better not to say anything. We all tell white lies, so I think this one is very difficult to interpret because sometimes telling the truth can be hurtful to others. So we don't want to tell the truth if it's going to be hurtful to others. At the same time, we don't want to be deceptive. So that's the dance. Asteya, non-stealing. That's kind of self-explanatory. Brahmacharya, which means of Brahma. That means really focusing on the divine and basically to greater or lesser degrees, depending on what our responsibilities are, renouncing everything else. A lot of times brahmacharya is referred to as celibacy, but it's more than just celibacy. And then aparigraha, which is non-hoarding. Great example of hoarding is look at any woman's closet, or even my closet, for example. I've got 10 suits in my closet that I'll never wear again. So I'm guilty of hoarding, because what I really should be doing is packing those things up and taking them down to Goodwill so that somebody who really needs a good suit can wear them. Non-hoarding is related a lot to stealing, because in a sense, I am stealing those suits from the person who could be using them. There's a lot of overlap, as you can see, between the different yamas. The niyamas, oops, I'm going a little bit over here. Hopefully you guys don't mind. Well, actually, we'll save the niyamas for tomorrow. I'll just go over them real quick and then I'll go over them in more detail tomorrow. So the niyamas are sucha, cleanliness, santosha, contentment, tapas, zeal or enthusiasm, svadhyaya, self-study, and ishvara pranidhana, surrender to the Lord. Will, of course, all these will be explained in detail as we move forward. Then, once you got those down, then you're qualified to do the asanas, which are the poses. Interestingly enough, it is said, even Patanjali says, that even if you only do one of the 8 limbs, they will lead you to all the others. And I have found this personally to be true because I started practicing the asanas, and wouldn't you know it, I became aware really quickly that, oh boy, if I'm a yogi, I gotta behave like a yogi. Okay, so those are the asanas, poses, and then pranayama is breath control or control of the energy. Pratyahara is withdrawal of the senses. Any of you ever done savasana, that's an example of pratyahara. Dharana is intense focus. Dhyana is state of meditation, which is a product of intense focus. And samadhi is a state of oneness with the divine. That's also a product of meditation. So you'll notice that the last 3 in particular are, well, the last 2 anyway. The first 6 are things that you do, and the last 2 are things that happen to you. You cannot expect them to happen. They happen of their own accord. According to Patanjali and the Bhagavad Gita, these are gifts from the divine. So there you have it. The 8 limbs. Yamas, restraints, niyamas, observances, asana, pose, pranayama, breath control, energy control, pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses, dharana, intense focus, dhyana, state of meditation, and samadhi, which is state of oneness with the divine. Okay, lots to think about. See you guys tomorrow.